In the dead of night when the moon is full.
We gonna call Ghostbusters. What up, y'all? It's your boy M-phamis, but you can call me M-phamis. Welcome back. Alright, happy Halloween, guys. Alright, for this video, this is gonna be my last, review, for the year for Halloween, movie reviews. So for this one, I'm definitely gonna review Ghostbusters Afterlife and Ghostbusters Fall Frozen Empire. I know. I should've, gone with the, original, first two movies from the 80s, but your boy don't really got that much time. So, spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen, the original Ghostbusters movies, so, again, spoiler alert. Make sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on DLR. The links to everything is down below. The movie starts out with Egon, the last, Ghostbuster that's still ghostbusting. You know, he's the scientist of the group. He's in this town called Somerville. He was just fighting some ghosts, and he kind of, trapped him for a ghost in, the ghost trap, and he was, running from a ghost. He turned his little farmland into, some sort of, base of operations for him to do his ghostbusting thing. He tried to, turn on a trap, but that didn't work, so he pretty much, hid the ghost trap inside the house. And he kind of, got his, little ghost remote thing. He sat in a chair, and the ghost came in and killed him. Egon became a ghost. Kind of got introduced to Callie. Callie is Egon's daughter that he hasn't seen in, years. He also has kids. She has two of them, Trevor and Phoebe. Trevor is, a teenager. He's, 17 years old, and he's, stuck at driving. Phoebe is the opposite. She's really smart, and she's, pretty much a super genius. Takes after her grandpa. She was, doing some sort of, electrical stuff. The landlord showed up and pretty much told her, hey, the rent is due. Kelly pointed out the fact that her father died, but before the landlord could even, talk, she pretty much pointed out the fact that, they barely know each other. She asked the landlord if she can, wait a little while before, she actually changed locks. The landlord, nah. So the family pretty much, had to, go to Somerville. They made it to the house, and, the house is, a very torn up place. Kelly tried looking for a key, but there was none. So she asked Phoebe to, break in. They pretty much went inside the house. Kelly looked around and see that there was, a bunch of junk everywhere. And, there was, not one picture of any of them anywhere. Eventually, there was, a little earthquake that happened. They kind of went under the table. Kelly pointed out the fact that, relax, look, we're only just going to be here for a week. And Kelly kind of pointed out the fact that, nah, we're kind of here to stay. Phoebe, found, Egon's little ghost remote. She, went over and tried to get it. She's trying to figure out what it is. Eventually, we got introduced to Janine. Janine used to work with Egon and with the other Ghostbusters back in the day, and pretty much, introduced herself, talked to Kelly about, how, Egon could barely, keep this place afloat by himself, and, how this place doesn't have, is, not really worth anything. I was a little upset about that. The family went to, this little drive-in place, and, that's when Trevor kind of, met Lucky. Lucky kind of works there, and he kind of likes her, so he pretty much, went inside to apply because there was a wanted sign, and Kelly kind of pointed out the fact that Phoebe could make, an actual friend. Trevor was inside, filling out the application, and he was talking to Lucky. Some dude that was working there was, messing with him because, he was talking to her. I think he was, flirting with her and all that stuff. Kelly got some food, and, one of the employees asked her, where they're heading, and the employee pretty much, told him that that's the dirt farmer's house, and, no one don't really know him. Later on that night in Phoebe's room, Phoebe was reading a book and just enjoying herself a little bit, and the chessboard just flipped itself over. Phoebe picked it up and just moved one chess piece forward. Then she took her glasses off and she went to sleep. Alright, time to speed this up. Kelly had to drop Travis off to that dragon place because he got work there now. She also dropped Phoebe off and we got introduced to Mr. Ruperson. He's a seismologist. Phoebe met Podcast. Podcast is a dude who really likes podcasts and stuff, and he kind of has fun. And he's really into the supernatural stuff. Kelly was doing everything to fix up the house. While at school, Phoebe noticed that there was an earthquake happening. Mr. Ruperson was looking at his seismology machine. Phoebe kind of went inside his office, and they were starting to bond because they both know about seismology and all that stuff. Mr. Ruperson trying to figure out where are these earthquakes coming from? There's no tectonic plates where Travis was not really having a good time at work. After school, Phoebe and Podcast were walking around town talking about ghosts. Phoebe's not really believing in ghosts. Podcast kind of showed her this whole mine shaft. It was abandoned, closed down. It kind of went down, and there was this secret cave. Trevor was getting to work on the old Ghostbuster car. Back at the house, Phoebe was just brushing her teeth. Then she noticed that there was a chest piece moved again, and it started to float in the air. Egon was trying to talk to her. Eventually found the ghost trap. He brought it to school with her. Her and Podcast tried to open it. Mr. Griffin kind of told them about the Ghostbusters. He did try to open it. I mean, at first it didn't seem to work, but then all of a sudden it actually did work. They did manage to let it go south. Mr. Gruberson kind of like took like Phoebe and podcast like to her house. Apparently, Mr. Gruberson kind of like agreed to like going on a little date. Phoebe and podcast were like looking at a book and they were like reading about Gozer, the first bad guy from like the first Ghostbusters movie. At this moment, they messed up. Eventually, Phoebe like found like Egon's old lab. Phoebe kind of like repaired like one of like the Ghostbusters like weapons and like tested it out with podcast. And it actually does work. They actually like ran into a ghost. They tried to capture it. Trevor got like the Ghostbuster car kind of like working. And they were chasing down the ghost and kind of destroying the town at the same time. They kind of got arrested. Phoebe called Ray one of the original Ghostbusters. Eventually, like Kelly kind of like know that like the kids got arrested and got out of jail. Mr. Gruberson kind of got possessed by like some sort of demon dog. Lucky, Podcast, Phoebe, and Trevor like all agreed to like go to that mine shaft. And they found out that Egon was kind of like right about everything. They made it back to the house. And Kelly was possessed by one of the demon ghost dogs. They agreed to like get it like all the Ghostbuster gear. They went down to the mine shaft, like put up a little fight against Gozer. Pretty much it was a little chase scene. They made it back to the farm, and it turns out the farm was like a huge ghost trap. The original Ghostbusters like came in for the final fight, and they managed to defeat Gozer. And that was the end of the movie. Frozen Empire starts out with like a flashback of like, what was it, 1904, about like some firemen that were just like, if you recall, and they were going to some building. It was like full of wealthy people, and all of a sudden, they were like going to a door, and like one of the firemen kind of like put their hand on the door, and like for some weird reason it froze. They managed to chop the whole place up, and like pretty much like got inside, and they found out that like everyone in there was just like frozen, like still like completely frozen. They looked around and they noticed that there was like this one weird person with like some weird ancient Arabic armor, like holding some sort of golden orb. And the person in like the Arabic armor kind of like woke up. Fast forward to present day, like Ellie, Trevor, Phoebe, and Mr. Grimman, but everyone called him Gary. They've been like doing like the Ghostbuster thing for a time before. They were like chasing down a ghost, sewer ghost dragon thing, and they were like trying to like capture it. Trevor's like a full-blown adult now, and he's like 18. He's like trying to say, I'm 18. I can do whatever the heck I want. I want to drive, and they wouldn't let him drive. Phoebe was being like very rebellious, and she was like trying to like use the gunner seat to like capture the ghost, but they were like no. So Phoebe like got into the gunner seat and tried to like capture the ghost. Trevor like sent like a little drone to like go get the ghost. The drone wouldn't work, so pretty much the mom had to like use a flying drone to like try to capture the ghost. They managed to capture the ghost, but they kind of like left a little like chaos and a lot more destruction. Eventually, it kind of got them in trouble with the mayor. The mayor kind of like has like a thing against Ghostbusters. The mayor kind of asked Phoebe like, how old is Phoebe? And she like told him that she's like 15. And like he's kind of like a little like, we don't let kids become Ghostbusters because they're too young and all that stuff. That means like Phoebe's kind of like kicked out of the team until like she turns 18. Phoebe's a little upset about that because like she really like loves being a Ghostbuster. Meanwhile, back at the firehouse, one of the old Ghostbusters, Winston, like is a rich famous millionaire now, and he kind of like bankrolled the guys, and kind of like bought out like the old firehouse where they used to be their old headquarters. Ellie and Gary kind of pointed out the fact that it can be a good thing for her like not be a Ghostbuster right now because like again she pointed out the fact that she's a teenager and she needed to do teenage stuff. Phoebe was strongly against it, and she was like, I'm a Ghostbuster. Like, Gary's a scientist. Gary and Kelly kind of like had a little conversation about like their whole little relationship situation. Gary trying to like be a little more than just like their friend. They put the ghost that they just catch and like put it into like the containment unit, but they were like having a hard time trying to like keep it in there. Like, they were struggling for a second and keep blinking red. Eventually turned green. Ray, the original Ghostbuster and podcast, kind of like teamed up to like do like a little YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel is called like Repossessed, where they like look to see if like in like someone's whatever they had like been possessed by someone. There could be a traumatic event so powerful that like their spirit is bonded to a particular object, pretty much creating like an organic ghost trap. There was this old lady with a watch that says like her husband like died, and like her watch keeps beeping every time she leaves the room. Greg uses his like ghost detector that I kind of called like a ghost remote, kind of like in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Scanned the thing and it said like there was no reading, and my character kind of like smashed the watch with a hammer. Shock value. Alright, time to speed things up. Got introduced to a dude named Najee. He's a very chill dude. He was trying to like sell like his grandma's like old brass board. Rick kind of looked at it and it sell like it can like super ancient, and it was like used to like trap like evil spirits and all that stuff. Rick used a ghost detector and that thing was like flying off the charts. A bunch of supernatural stuff like happened. Like the ghost compactor was like really close to breaking, and the G managed to like sell the orb. Evie is kind of like still bummed out about like her like not being like a full-time Ghostbuster because she had to wait until she's routine. Eventually, like, Phoebe kind of like met like a friend, but like her friend's a little ghost. Her name's Melody. She kind of died in a fire. Janine and Winston were talking to like the Ghostbusters and telling them that, hey, guys, the ghost compactor thing is kind of full. We've been stuffing ghosts since the 80s, but luckily, like Winston and his engineers kind of like created like a new like place to like hold the ghosts, and they showed them like the new laboratory about like their little like paranormal research center. Me, Phoebe, and Podcast like went to a library. We found out that the orb was like some sort of prison for some like god named Garaka. Garaka was like this god that had like very special powers that kind of was in prison because of the ambitions were for like getting too big, and pretty much was trapped by these dudes called the Fire Masters, pretty much ancient Ghostbusters. BB Podcast and Ray end up like getting arrested. Melody was working with Garaka to like set like him free, so that way she can see her family again. Eventually we got like a little epic final fight with Garaka and the rest of the Ghostbusters, old and new, and like they found out like that Nadim was a descendant of the Fire Masters. He was like struggling with his powers, but later on like his powers kind of like started to work, and they managed to like defeat Garaka. In the end, the Ghostbusters were doing the regular thing, busting ghosts and feeling good. And that's the end of the movie.
In the dead of night when the moon is full, there's a chill in the air, a feeling so cool. Ghosts and goblins, witches and bats, creeping through the shadows wearing their hats. Spooky, spooky Halloween night, things that go bump in the...
Okay, I know, I should review like the first two original Ghostbusters movies from the 80s. Well, your boy really don't got that much time. I know that it took way longer for me to like review like all like the Ghostbusters movies. In case you guys were wondering about the song and who's singing it, that would be my boy DOTWOLF. He actually goes by Gunter Lima on like another channel. He has two of them. One is a gaming channel, and the other is his singing channel, man. He just like opened his new channel. So guys, like please support him, man. His work is good. DOTWOLF, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for letting me use the music on my video. Shout out to you, man. I know. I should have gone like review like the original Ghostbusters movie, but I really didn't have the time. And your boy is trying to like get this whole thing wrapped up before like Halloween night. Alright, your boy gotta go. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Check me on Digitalart. And guys, I got a TikTok, so check it out, man. Links to everything is down below. Happy Halloween. M3 Bullet. Out.
Witches and bats, creeping through the shadows wearing their hats. Spooky, spooky Halloween night, things that go bump in the dark, giving us a fright. Trick or treat, candy and sweets, dancing with the skeletons to the beat. Haunted houses, creaky floors, whispers in the wind, knocking on doors. Jack-o'-lanterns, glowing bright, guiding us through the darkness of the night. Spooky, spooky Halloween night, things that go up in the dark, giving us a fright. Trick or treat, candy and sweets, dancing with the skeletons to the beat. The spirits are rising, the witches are flying, the monsters are lurking, the werewolves are crying. But we're not afraid, we'll face our fears, because Halloween only comes once a year. Spooky, spooky Halloween night, things that go up in the dark, giving us a fright. Trick or treat, candy and sweets, dancing with the skeletons to the beat. So let's celebrate this spooky night with costumes and laughter under the moonlight. For Halloween is a time of fun, so let's all come together until the night is done. Spooky, spooky